Welcome! Today we have from the Writer's Secrets Christmas Bonanza series. It's an article by Dr. Jeffrey Lant on the getting and giving of Christmas presents. Dr. Lant?
Thank you, Patrice. Welcome everyone to something that we all have to go through. Listen carefully though, I have a different take on something. I started and just about finished my Christmas shopping last night. December 14th. That is the anniversary of the death of Queen Victoria's much-loved husband, Prince Albert. It is the only day in any year when the public can view his mausoleum at Frogmore on the grounds of Windsor Castle. The great Queen is also buried there. I went once on a rainy day many years ago to see and found she had gone to the greatest possible lengths to make sure she was ready for him, for comfort, to the anticipated blissful years to come. Prince Albert is on my mind today because he is most probably the man who launched in England the idea of the Christmas tree. And once he had done so, loyalists in the empire in which the sun never set felt obliged to have Christmas trees too, even former imperial colonies like our own great republic. Prince Albert brought the idea from his Picayune Principality, Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. If it had been up to them, the idea of Christmas trees would have stayed German, insignificant, and parochial. But Queen Victoria ruled over half the world, and her prince ruled over her. He liked Christmas trees. Indeed, he liked all things that were family-oriented and allowed him to drop a sentimental tear or two. Thus, Victoria liked Christmas trees. It was the royal couple's gift to the world. I'm glad I do like the things with all their trimmings, and especially their fresh pine incense. Besides, all the presents do look nice, artfully arranged under the tree, don't they? And since this is a story about Christmas presents, it's nice to know you have a beautiful tree packed with mementos and memories of past years, a suitable place for packages wrapped and packed. Thus, I have selected the seasonal favorite old Christmas tree as the incidental music for this article. The best-known version was written in 1824 by Leipzig organist Ernst Anschutz. It may also have been introduced into England by Prince Albert, whose aspects were serious, nervous, severely self-critical, and often lachrymose. If such a hard-working man dead at just 42 could take pleasure in an actual tree and a fine tune about that tree, I was glad he found some comfort and joy at Christmas, and thank him for introducing these features of the season to his wife, then the world. You can find many renditions of the song in any search engine. It's very soothing. Evening, December 14th. I am a person who has absolutely no Christmas spirit at all until I set about the important business of selecting gifts for my chosen one. You see, I am one of the decided minority of people who actually like selecting and giving gifts. I do not regard the matter as forced, as so many others, budding Scrooges all. Honors a ridiculous waste of time and money. Over as early and inexpensively as possible. No, indeed. I grew up in an Illinois home, part of the famous baby boom generation, which has, since its conception, had such a pronounced effect on manners and morals. Giving apt presents was one of the things my family and friends liked to do. Even Grandpa Walt could be notoriously crusty about such matters, especially if the spending of money was involved, as with Christmas it always was. I have carried this cheerfulness with me even during my earliest days when money was scarce and one was, therefore, often frustrated and impatient. That, at least, is not the problem now. The real problem I face is twofold. First, my annual list is dwindling year by year. Compliments of the Grim Reaper, who most assuredly is no cheerleader for Christmas. Second, with only two exceptions, niece Chelsea and nephew Kyle, there are only 2 young people on the list, and they are already young adults, teenage years already gone. My adult recipients all have comfortable lives, needing nothing but the one thing I cannot give, good health. Each and every one of them has a pressing health need, and we are all at the age where no conversation would be complete without a full and complete health update. Still, needing nothing, they would be most dismayed if nothing came from me, and I should think most poorly of myself. And so, December the 14th, 2011, after the day's work is done, I take out the stacks of catalogs I have been hoarding for months, and which are essential to the only kind of shopping I will ever do. Shopping which can be done from the ease and comfort of home, never entering a store for any reason whatsoever. First, in every given year, I draw up my list, and as always, I remember the dead of my family tree and acquaintances, people I knew so well and loved over the course of a lifetime of Christmases. I never forget these sinners of my life, though thinking of them is always bittersweet. I complete my short list in just a minute or two. I know each name so well and wonder who will be the next to go, shortening my list and diminishing my room. I then make up my preliminary pass with the 50 or so catalogs I have retained for just this moment. Some are automatically eliminated. The sharper image catalog immediately goes into the trash due to their astonishing ineptitude of an order for a dear friend. I shall never again trust my reputation and seasonable equanimity to those bowheads. Catalogs for children are disregarded. We have no children. Catalogs with the soft furnishings are tossed. Generally, sales will bring better offers. And as for others offering T-shirts where the inscriptions sheet who must be obeyed, these are not my style. Having discarded the dross, I commenced my real labors this year, made immensely easier by the generous gift of a Sacher torch from Vienna, the gift of Joel Taylor, Austria's leading auction house, the place I do regular business. 2 slices of this famous confection have put me in a very good mood indeed, and so I begin my perusal and selection. Unlike most Christmas gift givers, I have no preset budget. I buy what I like, and which from constant effort I know the recipient will like. Cost is never the major variable. Appropriateness for the recipient is. And so I ramble through the catalogs, knowing I would give no present rather than something hasty or unsuitable for a single person on my short list, all loved and cherished by me. Yet except for Kyle, who is difficult, I find over the course of the next 3 to 4 hours presents that I like, that I feel sure my recipients will like too. Then, today, most probably in the early evening, I shall call every 800 number indicated and use my credit card to make all the purchases. The most important thing about this way of doing business is that one must be patient, partly because it's very busy season, and partly because the help is often seasonal, with all the potential problems that entail. Yes, patience is required, and a funny word to the order taker if she feels down and bedraggled, conditions immediately apparent. In a couple of hours on the phone, my shopping is done, gifts now on their way, whilst I take the next and final part of my shopping, a visit to Trader Joe's for purchase of the sherry I distribute to all the people who make my life easier, condo maintenance, house cleaners, et al. I have looked for a lifetime for the sherries I now give, for my taste includes both Amontillado and creamy. Royale Tissot is by far the best, and the least expensive, a miracle often performed at Trader Joe's. Now I am done, simultaneously glad and sad, by the paucity of my gifts, happy that I shall make these special ones happy at least once more. But missing the dear ones gone before and still so loved. With these I take out my eggnog, remembering the great silver bowl my grandfather used when he administered the nog with brandy. Who got that anyway? Whilst I only need a glass. And then I plug in my 13-inch tree, the one with the bubblers my grandmother gave me a half a century ago. And in its undulating bubbles, all I see is the past. Christmases past, retaining a magic Christmases future cannot hope to duplicate or reprise. But in my little dark, quiet room, punctuated by the brilliant lights of my little tree, old Christmas tree exceeds and soothes me, and reminds me how sturdy God has made me, ready for the future to come. O Christmas tree, how sturdy God hath made thee. Thou bids us all place faithfully our trust in God, unchanging me.
Thank you, Dr. Lant.